Cell phone coverage can be spotty, and sometimes a two-way radio is the best option. So the question is this $10 set of two-way radios just as good as a set that cost $147? Well, let's find out. In the first test, we'll compare range and sound quality.
Testing the Pixton for about 6 miles.
Then we'll test the durability of the radios. We'll also see which radios have the least amount of push-to-talk latency. At a price of $10 for two radios is this HONGID brand. They do require 3 AAA batteries per radio, which are not included. All the radios we'll be testing use the FRS or Family Radio Service Frequency. GMRS and ham require license, so we won't be testing those. They're supposed to have a range of approximately 1,000 feet. And the HONGID is made in China. Weight is sometimes an indicator of quality, and the HONGID weighs 96 grams. If you're in a noisy environment, you'll want a radio that can produce a lot of volume. I'll transmit tone through one of the radios to test noise level, and it's 72.2 decibels for the HONGID. In the first test, let's see how the radios perform at 1,360 feet apart from each other with mostly open space.
Testing the HONGID from 1,360 feet.
And the HONGID really struggled at only 1,360 feet. At a price of $20 is this MaxTalker brand. It has 22 channels and 121 sub-channels. They claim to have a 1,200 milliamp hour rechargeable battery. It's supposed to deliver 72 hours of standby time. It also has a NOAA weather scan. It also has voice-activated transmission and an LED flashlight. And the MaxTalker is made in China. And it's just over 111 grams for the MaxTalker. And the MaxTalker can be pretty loud at 92.6 decibels.
We're testing the MaxTalker from 1,360 feet.
The MaxTalker definitely performed better than the HONGID, but there's quite a bit of static. We'll be testing two different sets of radios made by Midland. The first one costs $30 and is the T10 model. The Midland radios have 22 channels. They claim that these are long-range Walkie Talkies. The NOAA weather scan will automatically scan through 10 available weather channels. They're supposed to deliver exceptional reception, transmission, and sound quality. And the Midland is made in the Philippines. The Midland T10 weighs 110.5 grams. And it's 91.5 decibels for the Midland.
Testing the Midland on station 2.
The Midland is by far the best so far in the lineup. At a price of $37 is this Wishouse brand. They're supposed to have a 1-mile range. These two-way radios do have rechargeable batteries. Longer range communication in open areas with little or no obstruction. Includes a lamp, SOS siren, and weather. And the Wishouse is made in China. And it's 157 grams for the Wishouse. The Wishouse is right at 85.4 decibels.
Also testing the Wishouse from the exact same distance. And the Wishouse definitely sounds better than the first 3 brands.
At a price of $40 for 4 radios or $10 each is this Retevis brand. The Retevis does include rechargeable batteries. They claim that their 1,000 milliamp hour battery supports 10 hours of battery life. It has 16 different channels. Regarding battery life, they claim 5% reception, 5% transmission, and 90% standby. Includes a charger and 2 USB charging cords. And the Retevis is made in China. The Retevis weighs 120.36 grams. The Retevis is the loudest yet at 94.3 decibels.
And there seems to be more static with the Retevis compared to the Wishouse.
At a price of $40 for 4 radios or $10 each is this Jianua brand. They claim to have 22 channels. They claim the radios can be used for 72 to 96 hours with a full charge, 8 to 12 hours with continuous use. Each radio has a 1,200 milliamp hour rechargeable battery. They also claim you can charge the battery in just 1 hour. They claim they have a range of 5 miles in open areas. We're going to test that. In cities, they're supposed to have a range of 0.6 to 1.2 miles. Includes a charging cord, but does not come with a charger. And the Jianua is made in China. The Jianua weighs 121.1 grams. The Jianua is only at 85.3 decibels.
And the Jianua is really struggling on this test compared to the previous brand.
At a price of $40 for 4 radios is this PXTON brand. They claim to have a range of 3 miles in open areas and 0.6 to 1.2 miles in most cities. Can be used anywhere from 8 to 96 hours with a full charge.
3, 2, 1.
It has 16 different preset channels. It also includes a flashlight. The Walkie Talkies do come with rechargeable batteries. The battery is rated for 1,500 milliamp hours. The PXTON does include a charger, and unfortunately you cannot use a USB-C charging cord. And the PXTON is made in China. The PXTON is pretty heavy at just under 158 grams. And the PXTON is pretty loud at 95.3 decibels.
And the PXTON definitely sounds the best of all the two-way radios so far.
At a price of $60 for 2 radios is this Motorola brand T210. These radios include 22 channels and have rechargeable batteries. They claim to have a very impressive range of 20 miles. They're supposed to be compatible with any radio, and you can communicate with other FRS radios. With 22 channels and 121 privacy codes, that totals 2,662 combinations. The Motorola radios have an 800 milliamp hour battery that's supposed to last 18 hours. It also includes a weather channel, and the Motorola does include a charger. And the Motorola radios are made in the Philippines. And it's 156.39 grams for the Motorola. And it's 90.3 decibels for the Motorola.
There seems to be more static with the Motorola compared to the PXTON, but both brands perform very well.
At a price of $70 is this Midland T71. It's equipped with 36 different channels. It also has 121 privacy codes, which allows for up to 2,662 channel options. This allows you to block out other conversations, ensuring a clear and interference-free communication. Includes a 1,000 mAh rechargeable battery. The weather scan will automatically scan through 10 weather channels. You do have to switch to high power for maximum range. They claim it delivers up to a 38-mile range, the most of all the brands yet. You can charge one or both radios at a time. It also comes with an AC wall adapter, and the Midland is made in the Philippines. The Midland is the heaviest yet at 174.84 grams, and the Midland is right at 88 decibels.
And the sound quality of the Midland seems to be about the same as the Motorola.
At a price of $90 for 2 radios is this Cobra brand. They claim IP4 water resistant, 22 FRS channels plus 38 pre-programmed channel privacy code combinations. They claim it can produce up to a 38-mile range. It's supposed to deliver up to 16 miles of range in a wooded area, up to 3 miles in a city. It also includes an LED flashlight. It comes with a micro USB dock charger. Each radio uses a 2,000 mAh rechargeable battery. And the Cobra is made in Vietnam. And the Cobra weighs just under 177 grams. On the highest volume setting, the Cobra is at 92.3 decibels.
The Cobra costs about $20 more than the Midland, but it definitely doesn't sound quite as good.
At a price of $92 is this Motorola T605. 22 channels plus 121 privacy codes. It has a flashlight with white and red LEDs. It's supposed to be submersible up to 1 meter for 30 minutes. Comes with an extra rechargeable battery for each radio. It's supposed to have a 35-mile range in mountain or valley areas. In a neighborhood, up to 2 miles, open water up to 6 miles. It's designed to float face up. Waterproof IP67 rated. It has a water-activated flashlight. And the Motorola radios are made in the Philippines. The Motorola 605 is by far the heaviest yet at 234.56 grams. And the Motorola is pretty loud at 94.2 decibels.
And there's definitely less static sound with the Motorola compared to the Cobra.
At a price of $115 is this Motorola T82. They claim it has 22 channels and 121 privacy codes totaling 2,662 combinations. They claim it's weatherproof with an IP54 rating. Includes weather radio and alerts, off-grid group messaging and broadcast, Bluetooth connectivity to app and audio accessories, and up to 35 miles in a mountain or valley. And the Motorola is made in the Philippines. The Motorola T802 weighs 206.49 grams, and it's 93.7 decibels for the Motorola.
Compared to the Motorola T605, the Motorola T802 sounds just about the same.
However, the overall sound quality of the Motorola T605 and T802 is quite a bit better. At a price of $147, the most expensive radios we'll be testing are made by DeWalt. DeWalt claims that these are 2-watt heavy-duty walkie-talkies. Waterproof, shock-resistant, long-range, and rechargeable. It's supposed to have a range of 25 floors. It's designed to allow for up to 18 hours of continuous use. You can minimize unwanted interference using 22 channels or 121 privacy codes. And the DeWalt radios are made in Vietnam. In order to charge a radio using the charger, you do have to remove the belt clip. And it's 205.72 grams for the DeWalt. The DeWalt's right at 92.4 decibels.
Just like the previous 2 Motorola brands, the DeWalt is doing a very good job with just a small amount of static.
Sound quality includes several things such as clarity, static, and background noise suppression. Assessing performance is highly subjective, but the Motorola T802 came out on top with a very good rating of 2. The Midland T71 and Motorola T605 tied for second place with a rating of 2.5. Let's go even further away, placing some trees and some buildings between the radios.
MaxTalker from about 1,100 yards away from the shop. Unfortunately, the MaxTalker sounds pretty bad with a tremendous amount of static. And the Midland is definitely performing a lot better than the MaxTalker, but there's still a tremendous amount of static. And the sound quality of the Wishouse is definitely better than the Midland. Unfortunately, the Retevis really struggled in this test and is almost out of range at just over 1,300 yards. And the Jianua is just about out of range at just over 1,300 yards, and unfortunately, the radio is breaking up periodically. For a $10 radio, the PXTON is performing by far the best so far and is actually pretty clear. And the sound quality of the Motorola doesn't seem quite as good as the PXTON, but it's still pretty good. And the sound quality of the Midland T71 definitely seems a little bit better compared to the Motorola T210. Once again, the Cobra didn't perform quite as well as the Midland T71 and has a little bit more static. The quality of the Motorola T605 is definitely the best yet. While there is still some static, it's definitely the best radio so far. Compared to the Motorola T605, the Motorola T802 sounds about the same. Unfortunately, the DeWalt is not quite as clear, and there's definitely more static with the DeWalt compared to the Motorola.
Assessing performance is highly subjective, but the Motorola T605 and T802 came out on top with a pretty good rating of 2. The PXTON and the Midland T71 tied for 3rd place with a rating of 2.5. From the time that the push-to-talk button is pressed until the transmitter actually sends the message is called latency. To measure this, I'll play a recording of a fast count from 1 to 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
At the same time, I'll press the push-to-talk button. I'll locate the radios 300 yards apart.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
The counting started at the same time that I pressed the transmit button, and the MaxTalker has some latency and missed numbers 1 through 3.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I tested all the brands several times, and the Midland averaged 2.5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
The Wishouse has very little latency and transmitted all the numbers.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
The Retevis averaged 3.5 for latency.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
The Jianua also averaged 3.5.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
The PXTON does have some latency at 3 on average.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
The Motorola T210 also averaged 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
The Midland T71 has less latency than the Motorola T210 at 2 on average.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
The Cobra averaged 2, the same as the Midland.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And it's also a 2 for the Motorola T605.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Almost the same for the Motorola T802 at 1.5 on average.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
The DeWalt consistently transmitted all the numbers. So the DeWalt and the Wishouse have the least amount of latency and transmitted the entire number count. Several of the other brands performed almost as well, just missing one number. Let's compare the radios from very close to a mile away with lots of trees and several houses in between. I'll park the vehicle and test all the radios from the same location. Let's skip the HONGID since it's out of range. There's lots of static with the MaxTalker, and I can barely understand what is being said over the radio. The Midland is completely out of range at 1 mile.
Testing the Wishouse at 1 mile, and unfortunately, there's quite a bit of static.
While there is quite a bit of static, the Wishouse is performing the best so far.
Unfortunately, the Retevis just isn't performing quite as well as the Wishouse.
The Retevis continues to trail the Wishouse. The Jianua is performing just about the same as the MaxTalker.
From 1 mile of distance, the PXTON continues to perform the best of all the radios in the lineup.
Not bad for a budget radio.
The Motorola T210 from 1 mile away is definitely not as good as the PXTON, but better than most of the other brands.
There's more static with the Motorola compared to the PXTON.
Just like the Motorola T210, the Midland T71 is not quite as good as the PXTON.
The Midland seems about the same as the Motorola T210.
At 1 mile apart, the Cobra is definitely not transmitting the same as the Motorola or the Midland, but it can be understood.
The Cobra does have less static than the Midland, but the Cobra sounds very tinny like a 1990s Burger King drive-thru.
The Motorola T605 once again seems to be the best in the lineup.
A much better speaker than the Cobra.
The Motorola T802 sounds about the same as the T605.
Another great sounding speaker.
And the DeWalt's not quite as good as the Motorola T605 and Motorola T802.
There's just not enough volume and too much static with the DeWalt. At a distance of 1 mile with houses and trees obstructing the signal, the Motorola T605 and T802 came out on top with a pretty good rating of 2.5. The very affordable PXTON received a rating of 3. In the next test, let's see how the radios perform along the interstate with a lot of traffic and noise. I'll take half the radios to a second location 6 miles away. The radios will have to transmit over a lot of hills and through some trees. Up first is a MaxTalker. 6 miles of interstate with hills and trees is just too much for the MaxTalker. The Midland T210 also struggled in this test.
Testing the Wishouse is 6 miles away. Wishouse is definitely the best so far.
Nothing from the Retevis, 6 miles is out of range. Just like the Retevis, 6 miles is too far for the Jianua.
Testing the PXTON from about 6 miles away from the other radio.
That's $40 for 4 radios. Very impressive.
The Motorola T10 is definitely performing the best so far of all the brands.
After listening to both the PXTON and the Motorola, the PXTON did a better job.
And the Midland is transmitting from 6 miles away from the other radio.
The Midland T71 also did a pretty good job. The Cobra continues to sound like a 1990s drive-thru speaker.
And the Motorola is definitely performing the best so far of all the brands and 6 miles away from the other radio.
The Motorola T605 continues to perform very well.
This is the Motorola from 6 miles away with a sound test.
The Motorola T82 is also performing very well.
Testing the DeWalt from 6 miles away, and unfortunately the DeWalt's not quite as good as some of the other brands.
The Motorola T605 and the 802 continue to outperform the DeWalt. So once again, the Motorola T605 and the T802 came out on top with a very good rating. Sending a signal 6 miles with lots of trees and hills in the way is pretty impressive. Considering the price, the PXTON also performed very well. Let's drop the radios from 6 feet 3 different times to test their durability. And the HONGID survived without any damage. The MaxTalker survived 3 impacts just fine. The battery cover on the back of the Midland did come loose, but no permanent damage. The Wishouse also held up just fine. The belt clip on the Retevis became detached 2 out of 3 times, but it did snap right back into place. The Jianua held up just fine. The battery in the back of the cover became detached from the PXTON, but everything went back together just fine without any damage. The Motorola T210 did not experience any damage, and neither did the Midland T71. The Cobra survived the impacts just fine. The Motorola T605 is pretty rugged and durable. The battery cover and the battery detached from the Motorola T802, but it went back together just fine. And the DeWalt is built like a tank, and it held up just fine. So which brand is the best? The left side of the scorecard includes some basic information about each radio, and this is not included as a graded portion of the review. I've converted the raw data on the right side of the chart into a first to last place ranking. And the Motorola T802 came out on top with the best average finish of 1.4. It finished in first place in just about every category except for latency with the push-to-talk button. It's an amazing two-way radio, but it is a little bit expensive at a price of around $115 for the pair of radios. The Motorola T605 finished in second place with an average finish of 1.8. While it does have a few less features than the Motorola T802, it is designed to be more water resistant. I actually like the feel and functionality of this radio better than the Motorola T802. This would definitely be my overall choice for a price of around $92. For a price of around $70, the Midland T71 performed well with an average finish of 3.4. It doesn't have quite as much range as the Motorola radios, but it is a great radio for a range of around 1 mile. If it's all about value, I would definitely go with the PXTON for a price of around $40 for 4 radios. It easily outperformed all the radios in its price range, and it actually beat some radios that cost quite a bit more. At the end of every review, it really surprises me at how much difference there is among the brands, and some of the brands really outperform the competition by quite a long shot. All the videos in this channel, including this one, are viewer suggested, so if you have a video idea, I hope you'll take time to leave a comment. Thanks so much for watching, please take care, and I look forward to next time.